Yeah, it was a bit inconvenient because like the people would like pass and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that's everybody. So people get up and start walking around. Like it's annoying.
Yeah,
That's everybody.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. At one point, I was like, "This thing is driving me insane." Like, I had to get up. I had to get up and I was gonna leave. So
Uh,
but it was raining really hard. So I was like, "Let me go back inside." And then when I
okay.
was going back, I seen you taking pictures with people and stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and I noticed you see me, but I don't know at that moment,
Uh,
you can't really recognize me, but I was wearing a baseball hat and yellow shirt
okay.
and
I probably
stuff.
did.
But that
So
yeah,
you
but you was
were you standing by the
occupied,
door? Yeah. Were you
huh?
standing by the Were you standing by the door?
I was going
Or
back to the show.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when I first like, wow, maybe I should have said something to this lady, just say hi or but it happens, but luckily, I seen you on Instagram and
Yeah.
I really appreciated you giving me, you know, responded to me. So, but thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk with you.
Okay. And thank you.
And
This is actually my first interview as a professional bodybuilder. So,
no, no problem.
so thank you for this opportunity as well.
No doubt. I appreciate that. Well, I might as well get to the basics. Like, what got you started into bodybuilding?
Well, I used to go to the gym with my dad when I was little, and it wasn't because he was trying to get me to bodybuilding. It's just because he had nobody to watch me. So he's like, all right, I'll just bring her along with me. And I was like, I think I was like 10 years old, 10 or 11. So
Yeah.
it was a it was a bodybuilding gym. It wasn't like some of these commercial gyms. It was like this
Mm,
gym was for like I mean you had other people there that just regular people that just worked out too, but the majority of people that worked out there were bodybuilders. So I seen a couple women there. I seen two women there that were bodybuilders. They had other women, regular women too, that just went there for fitness and maybe to whatever their fitness goals were to lose weight or just to stay in shape. But there were two women who I knew were bodybuilders because they had a really nice physique, but they weren't very big. They were like petite, and
right.
I think that kind of subconsciously it sparked my interest, even though I didn't know it at the time because I was so young. But I was like, wow, that
Mm,
I was so fascinated by that look, and that was the first time I'd ever seen like female bodybuilders out. So I didn't, so like it was fascinating, it was different, but I liked
right.
it. I was like, they were very feminine,
Right.
so that's what sparked my interest. And then just constantly going to the gym with my dad. Sometimes I would dibble and dabble. He wouldn't let me pick up any of the free weights, so I just did like some light weights on the machines. I tried like different machines out, and that's actually where it all started. So,
How far was this, if you don't mind me asking?
uh, the gym or
No, like when you was a kid, like what decade was this? Was this the
I was the 80s,
90s,
but no, I was the 80s.
80s?
It
Oh,
was 1985. It was
oh,
19,
okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Did you like over the years, did you like watch like professional athletes like Corey Everson or Linda Murray or any of these women I'm naming, like
so
bodybuilders?
when I was young, I did not. I the most I did was I looked at like a lot of bodybuilding magazines that my dad used to get because back then
Yeah,
nothing was digital back then. Of course, you get like the actual,
yeah, yeah.
I would actually look through the actual magazines and I had an activity when I was in sixth grade. We had an art activity where we had to make collages, and my collage was just like of female bodybuilders, and we had prizes, and I came in first place. So I didn't know any of their names,
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
didn't
you
actually.
made a collage?
I made a collage of female bodybuilders when I
Oh,
was
that's cool.
when I was in the sixth grade,
Oh, that's cool.
and it came in
What?
first place. So
Oh, they,
yeah,
they, they. What was their reaction when you did that?
they were like, "Wow!" They didn't understand. Oh,
Yeah,
I open that. I need to like. They didn't understand. Um, they were fascinated, just like I think they were fascinated by it, just like I was when I was little, because it's like you don't. That's not something that you typically see every day. Like you don't see a woman walking around with like very huge, defined muscles, like or like very vascular, or
Yeah.
You don't even now. You don't see majority. You don't see a lot of women walking around that way. So when you do see a woman that's like very like a bodybuilding woman that's like in really good shape, it's like you have to just you can't help but to look. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very common.
Yeah. I'm in New York too, so it's very rare to see a muscular woman, and then when
Yes.
you see it, when you do see them, I'm just looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I want to say something, but I was like, nah, let me
Yeah.
control. Yeah. So
I,
what?
and I get it. Not to cut you off. One time I was in the gym when I first started building, and my physique was like starting to come out. I was in the locker room. I think it was when Bally Total Fitness was still open,
Yeah.
and I was in the locker room and I was changing, and this woman was like was staring at me, and I almost got offended, but then I was just like, then she spoke to me. She's like, I really like your physique, and I was just like, oh my god, like I gotta. It's like okay, it's like you can't really see what they see.
Yeah.
No, it just looks. But then when I see a woman that's like really muscular, yeah, like I went to Olympia a couple of years ago, and
Okay.
like I get it. It's like I see what like other people probably see because it's like wow,
Yeah.
it's not really something you see every day.
Yeah. I mean, you do get. I mean, it can be. It could be enchanting if I could use that word.
Hmm.
Just looking at them, and
Yeah,
then it has this beauty side, and it has the ugly side.
yeah,
Like to an extreme.
yes,
So
yeah.
yeah. So, but I'm like, but when did you started like competing?
I did my first show in 2019. It was an
Oh,
NPC show.
okay.
That was the first show that I did, and it was fun. It was an experience because I had never done anything like that before. I was
Mm.
a little not nervous, but I would say I was a little skeptical. My first thought was like, oh my god, they're gonna see me on stage with like my underwear. That was my fear at first. Not so much going on stage, but just they're gonna be looking at me. Okay, they have to look at you.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the whole purpose.
Yeah. So once I got over that, like I said, this wasn't like it was a fear. It was just like I don't know. Not even insecure. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a fear or an insecurity. It was just like okay. I mean, you don't walk down the street with your underwear on, right? So I felt
Right.
like there's gonna be like a lot of people there watching you. So I had to get over that hump, I would say, that
Mm.
obstacle in the road, and walk over that obstacle. And then when I felt comfortable, actually, when I started, getting lean, and I put my suit on, and I felt more confident. I felt more comfortable to step on stage.
What made you want to do it? Like just you just took a dive and just said, let me just do it.
Well, my trainer at the time, he'd done a bodybuilding show, I think, prior, maybe a couple years before, and then he told me, he's like, you have a nice physique. You should try and do, maybe you should try and do a show. And then I was like, okay. I just said, okay, why not?
Mm. Mm. That's
And that's
cool.
really the rest is history.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I first seen you. Like I said, I first seen you in this competition, the Big Apple.
Yeah,
Like, what was that feeling like being that? Now, this was your first OCB show.
that was my first OCB show.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
You didn't know
and my second show ever.
your second show?
Yeah, my second show ever. Like, remember the first one was back in 2019. It was an
Oh,
NPC,
okay,
and I switched over to OCB, and
okay.
this is my first OCB show. So I did two shows.
Oh, okay.
It was my second show ever.
Why you decided to switch?
Okay, so I actually was going to do an NPC show, and then
Hmm.
I remember during the pandemic, I joined like a group called on Facebook called Women Who Lift Weights,
Yeah.
and we were like it was a private group, and we would kind of like just post pictures of each other's physiques, like where we are, our progress and stuff, like how we're making out during the pandemic. So I posted an old video that I did when I was training for my first show, and
Mm.
then somebody like messaged me. She said you should do OCB. I think you would probably like it. And then I looked it up, and it was natural bodybuilding. I was like, okay, that sparked my interest. And then one day I was just like, I was looking through. I was like, I don't have to only stick to NPC. There's other federations. So I looked up. I went on to OCB's website, and they had a show in Brooklyn. The same
Yeah.
show that you saw on Sunday. They had that same show last year, but it was on a Saturday. I think it was August 4th, but last year I found a Saturday.
Mm.
I was like, I'm here in Brooklyn. It's like just a train right away. Why
Mm.
not just go and just check it out? And then when I went that day, I just fell in love. I was like, yes, it's in Brooklyn, where I'm from. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. just like the energy, everything was just like, it was amazing. They were super supportive of the athletes. You know, the way they would compliment the athletes on stage.
Right.
Um, no, the energy was just good. Everybody seemed super supportive.
Yeah.
They didn't have too many figure competitors. Last year there were only 2 figure competitors. I was like, they need. So I was like, they need more figure. So I decided. I told my coach, I was like, this is my show. This is my show. So we're like, all right, let's get to work, and that's what we
Yeah.
did. That's how I ended up
Yeah.
doing Big Apple.
Yeah. Like that was like my second show I went to. You know, the first show I went to was the New York Pro, and then
Yeah,
yeah.
that's,
Oh, you went there?
I went there. I went to the. It was a while ago. I went to the New York Pro back in 2019 when I was my first.
Oh, okay. I
And
went.
the other one, I saw that I watched because you could watch, you could live stream it. So I just watched because I knew someone that was competing in it, that was competing in classic physique.
Yeah.
So I just watched it to support him, and yeah, I just watched it live on it.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
Well, we got some guests here in the live. We have, let me see, Tony W. Oh Jesus, I hate this stuff. Let me see. Tony W. Look at the top female winner. Okay. And you got my friend all the rage George Page, who happens to he does female content on bodybuilders. Good evening, George. And how was her support system leading up to the event?
it was amazing. Like my gym, the people at my gym, they were super supportive of me. My mom, who doesn't, she's not a woman of many words, but she, anytime she saw me, she would always say, "Damn, girl, you look good." And she actually went to my first show, and
Mm,
she was really happy. She was super proud of me. So I got support from my mom, support from my sisters. You know, I got support from the people that I work with. So the support system was, it was really good. It
okay.
was. So
Okay.
my
You
coach, of
got
course, yeah. Yeah, the support was really good. I didn't. There wasn't too much negativity around. I mean, there was some, but it wasn't too much. That wouldn't even the little bit of negativity I had to deal with. I really just didn't let it phase me. I was
uh,
like, but because I got more support than anything.
what kind of negativity, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm like, somebody told me I didn't look good. I was too skinny, which is like
No.
it's the difference between being skinny and being lean. You know,
Hmm?
I,
Eh, don't pay
before
people
before
no
you show
mind.
when you get to that point when you start to cut and you get really lean. I know and I saw how I looked in the mirror. I looked in the mirror one time. I was like, wow, I looked, even like my face started to change. I saw like the in my cheeks. I kind of like saw the bone structure around my cheeks and stuff. So everything really started to change. So I guess they weren't used to seeing me looking that way, so they thought something was wrong. But
Right.
no, it's not that. It's like it's for a very short period of time. I'm getting lean
Mhm.
because that's how your muscles. That's how your muscles. That's how you see the definition of your muscles. You got to get lean. You got to lose the body fat. So I'm not really big to begin with. So probably just from that person's point of view, it would probably just look crazy, you know.
Okay.
But
All the rage
it,
George
it,
Page.
it didn't
Oh,
bother me. It didn't bother me. So I was like, whatever. Like I don't have time to explain it. So, but but for the most part, oh, and somebody hit me up on Instagram to tell me I looked horrible. Like I don't look like a
well, you
bodybuilder.
got some haters. It's
Yeah,
always some haters.
yeah. So,
It's always
but,
that.
but there were so few
Sometimes,
that I'm
no,
listening.
I was saying like sometimes people just do it because they don't got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. And that didn't even bother me. I just like they were messaging me. I just blocked them. I was like, come on. Like seriously, like you said, you ain't got nothing better to do. But go through my Instagram and tell me that I look terrible.
sometimes they just want attention. It could be that too. So,
Well, I didn't engage. I don't.
right.
Yeah, I don't entertain conversations like that. I just block and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the way George Page asks what made her want to compete to OCB. Now you gave the reason, right?
Oh no, no, actually I didn't. I just said I guess the reason I said was because I went to see a show and I like the energy and
Okay.
and then that was a big deal because so a lot of these shows aren't there aren't I don't know any shows that are like in New York City. No, if I say New York City, I talk about the five boroughs. I'm not talking about like Long Island or upstate, but like in New York City, there's like you don't have any bodybuilding shows like within the 5 boroughs. So how dope is it to have a show in Brooklyn where I'm from? I don't have to
Yeah,
pay for a hotel. I don't have to travel. That's less money I have to spend because these shows are very they get very pricey.
yeah,
uh, Paying to compete in the show. So
yeah. It was cheap. It was like the one show was like $60. Somebody told me about this show on, like, somebody I interviewed. They was a part of the OCB,
yeah,
and they said that they have a show. They told me they got a show in Brooklyn. I was like, yeah, and so I
yeah,
checked, and I wasn't able to like pay online, so I just paid like when I entered the door. So,
yeah.
you know,
That's good. That's for the whole show, so you don't have to pay two different prices. So it's like that's it. You just pay one price and you get to see the entire show, and that's another thing I liked about it too.
yeah.
So
How far do you want to like compete? Like, especially like in OCB.
I wanna train. I was talking to my coach, so I want to try. I want to build for a year to see where I'm at, see how everything looks, and if I like it, I'll sign up for a pro show, do my pro debut. If I feel like I need to build more muscle, I'll just wait a little bit because I am in no rush. I took my time. I actually trained for 3 years before I competed in the show last Sunday. So I'm very patient. I will take my time. Now if I'm competing with the pros, I want to come correct. Because
Yeah,
I watch a lot of YouTube videos of pro shows and like they're not playing. Those
yeah,
women are not playing. I'm not playing either. So I want to make sure everything looks good. I present my best package possible. My posing is on point. And yeah. So I want to do a pro show and see where it goes from there. And then eventually, like down the line, I think I want to try women's physique.
okay. Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, you
Yeah,
ever thought about moving up or anything like that?
yeah, definitely. So that's
Yeah,
definitely in my game plan. But
yeah,
it's gonna take a while to get to that point. But like I said,
yeah,
I'm very patient. I always want to bring the best package possible I can to the stage. You know?
yeah. What was your thoughts like on stage? Like,
Yeah. That's a good question because when I first went on stage, like when the first time, I was a little nervous when they did
yeah,
35 and up. I was like, oh my god, this is really happening. So my pose it felt a little stiff. But then after that, that to me that was my warm up. Then after I kept going out, then I went out again for the 40 and up. Right? Then I went out back out again for the open class. So after that, by the time I got to open, I felt good. I felt my body was warmed up. I felt like it was more fluid, which was great because by the time we did our individual routines, I just felt like okay. I felt like I was like floating on air. I
yeah,
was like, all right, I got this. Because I think you gotta I had to get a feel for the stage again. Because I only competed one time. So I
yeah,
had to get a feel for the stage. I had to just own the stage. So when I was out there, I was like, all right, this is my stage. I'm gonna own it. This is mine. I own it. I'm here. I'm taking control. So by the time I got to the individual routine, I was like, yeah, I got this. This is my stage. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna just put on the best show I possibly can. Make it sexy, make it sporty. So,
yeah,
but at first I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I mean, one thing about the show, positive, that there's people that they're just average people,
Hmm.
and they coming to see these people, because I seen the men and I see the women, and the people were very supportive and they was
Yeah,
clapping and stuff, and
yeah.
even the